staying in the SEC, we'll head down to the Swamp. And last week, I want to point this out. I was surprised in my flip-flop pick that USF did what they did to ranked Boise State in week 1. And into week 2, I noted, I said, hey, this USF team, they could be tough. They could give Florida some problems. And it turns out, if you mess with the bull, you get the horns, because USF walked into Gainesville, and in the last 6 minutes of this game, it was one of those where you felt as if USF could take it. And Florida had this confidence with about 8 minutes left to play, 6 to 8 minutes left to play, or maybe Gator fans were feeling the love. Like they were feeling, all right, we got this in the bag. And then you get a 15-yard penalty for spitting on someone, Gators. Then USF hits on a big screenplay, and then all of Gator Nation has chills. They're sweating. They think they're going down, and that was exactly the case. Florida gave it up. Hope dwindled, and the Bulls come out victorious in the end. This was a crazy one, I thought. I thought, for the country, it seemed as if this was one of the biggest surprises of the day. I was fueling the fire of the USF Bulls coming into this one.
Yeah, man, this was one of those games where if you're Billy Napier, hey, brother, you could not lose this game. Florida, I think their schedule, they're only favored in 2 of their remaining games, and that is against Kentucky. And right now, I think they're still favored against Florida State, but that might flip, right? Over time, that might change. So if you're Florida, man, it's a tough stretch ahead. If you're the Bulls, shout out to UCF Bulls, shout out Byrum Brown, dude, dog.
Showed out.
This is a team that I put when I did my preseason rankings. I not taking credit here. I said this was my first team out. Okay, I didn't rank a Go 5 team, and I just didn't really know. But this is a USF team and Alex Golesh and a healthy Byrum Brown. I mean, I don't know who wouldn't run through a wall for Alex Golesh. I don't know if you've seen any of the clips of his post-game speeches and what he's saying about a brotherhood.
South Florida, brother.
Dude, and the way he has encapsulated that fan base and that culture of South Florida and what he's been able to do has been, bar none, really, really, really impressive. The team he's assembled, Byrum Brown, just a guy that the fact he's able to keep him there, right? Like, he got hurt early last year, which really, really hurt USF. But Byrum Brown came back and returned and had a really, really, really good game. 23 for 36, 263 yards, a touchdown passing, 66 carries on 66 yards on 17 carries for a quarterback against a Florida D-line that is supposed to be really good this year, right? So I look at this game, right, and we love to talk about certain things, and this game, what really broke me, and I think what broke every Florida fan more than anything, was 3 minutes left. Okay, USF goes out there and they kick a field goal. They missed that field goal. By the hair on their chinny chin chin, they missed that field goal. Florida trots out there. And you think, wow, Florida survives. And then I witnessed one of the worst calls I've ever seen from an offensive staff to throw the ball on first down. And then guess what? They by the grace of God, USF missed the field goal. And then by the grace of their own doing, they couldn't get a damn first down. They went 3 and out. They were on the field for 27 seconds. They were on the field for as long as it takes me to take a pee after an hour-long service at church. Okay? Like, I'm baffled. Okay? Like, I don't get it. You have all this talent. You have Lagway. You tell me, Florida fans, you told me how good Lagway was going to be all damn year. Guess what? He looks like a really talented player on a really bad team. Okay, if you want me to be honest with you. He has his moments. Like, he does. He looks like a really talented player with a bad scheme and bad talent around him. That's what it looks like. And if I'm a Florida fan, I'm disgusted. Like, I don't know. I don't know how Billy Napier still has a job. And at this point, like, I don't mean that respectfully. Respectfully, Billy Napier, how the hell do you still have a job? Like, and the thing is, his buyout's not even crazy. Billy Napier's buyout's $20 million. Like, that's chump change, okay? Florida spends more than that on their basketball team, okay? Like that's chump change for them, Okay, so it's like
Shoot, I mean,
I
they
don't
offered
know if
USF 500 grand to play him in Gainesville. How'd that turn
I
out?
I don't know if Florida, their athletic director, has just accepted the fact that they're now a basketball and baseball school. And I mean, hell, they weren't even a baseball school last year. Their head coach is suspended to start the year, I think, in baseball a few games because he threw a damn fit after he got dropped by Coastal Carolina in the regional. So it's like I don't know, man. I sat here and I really thought when USF missed that field goal and Florida got the ball, the graphic was ready. I made the Gators survive. I made the graphic. I was ready. I was like, damn, college football, that would have been a great upset for the college football world. And then you went 3-0. 3-0. That's gotta be like like I
And they left
that
points
would
on
have
the board.
been
That was the other thing is they had chances to score, and it was either their own penalties or their own mistakes where they left
that
points on the board. And that, I mean, if you leave the door open in arm's length for UCF to come riding through, here's some red. You know what happens when a bull sees red? Boom, right through the gate,
I
and that's exactly what they did.
yeah, and Florida fans are going to talk about like those 2 touchdowns and whatever, but at the end of the day, you're playing South Florida. I think you were 21-point favorites, 17.5-point favorite. I don't know the exact number on that. Sorry, I'm not a betting man.
It was a
But
lot.
you were big favorites.
Yep.
Okay, so I want to say it was 21.5 closing
Yep.
line. I think I saw it this morning. You were still big favorites because your roster is that talented. Okay, your team is supposed to be there. You are given Billy Napier plenty enough time, ample time to rebuild that program, and that program is the furthest thing from rebuilt. Now, like for Florida, I
Yes.
want to say I don't know what the answer is, but I know what the answer is, and the answer is firing Billy Napier. But the thing is that the fact that he is still employed as we record this podcast on Sunday is embarrassing.
Yeah.
I,
And the
I
next
get
month
you,
isn't going to get any easier for him either,
and
right? At LSU, at Miami, at home versus Texas, and at A&M. That's a brutal month to have just lost a game like you did against UCF, hoping to potentially keep your job and not get bought out and get booted from the seat. But that's a tough month to try to recover from. And I think the reason he does have his job is just because of the end of last year. Like we remember the beginning of last year when the Billy Napier chants were ringing through the swamp as he was leaving the field. The chirps were there. And then he has the end of the season that he does with DJ Lagway and all this excitement building around that to basically come crashing down with this game.
I mean, yeah, if they lose to LSU by double digits, just leave them there. Okay,
Yeah.
don't even put them on the plane. Like, and that's the thing. Like, do pull the Lane Kiffin on them. Okay, let him go on the tarmac. Okay, like I don't understand. I don't know. Florida is way too good of a program historically, way too culturally rich, way too fan base invested, way too big of a program to accept this level of mediocrity. And I think every Florida fan will tell you that right now. Really disappointed. I feel like I gave the Bulls a lot of credit, but if I didn't, let me say it one more time. The USF Bulls, Byrum Brown, Alex Golesh, really, really good win. Okay.
Great win.
You guys should celebrate that. And I cannot believe you guys just beat Florida for the first time ever. I want to say that was the first time they've ever beat Florida. And for the first time, in my opinion, there's a new Big Three in Florida, and the University of Florida is not in it. Okay, the new Big Three in Florida is USF, Miami, and Florida State until further notice because the University of Florida decides that this is what they want to do.
Certainly hard to not throw USF in that mix. I mean, 2 wins against AP ranked opponents. It's the first time they've had that in the same season since 2009, much less the first 2 games of the season. I think that's enough of a compliment in and of itself, right? And then you think about the fact that Florida Gators paid them boys $500,000 to come play them in Gainesville, and that Alex Golesh, the 41-year-old man, as the head coach of this team, he's somebody I hope South Florida can hang on to, because he's going to be a coach that I think there's going to be plenty of teams across the land that are going to have interest in that guy. He has a lot of potential. He's grown a USF team from bad to obviously now ranked. So they're on the up and ups. And like you mentioned too, Byrum Brown showed out. 23 of 36, 263 yards and a score. That's my team of the week right there, the USF Bulls. Any more on this game before we head down to the next one?
One quick shout out Todd Orlando. Texas fans, close your ears. I know you never want to hear the word Todd Orlando after his stint at the University of Texas. But Todd Orlando has USF playing defense, and USF doesn't usually play defense. That has been the problem. Alex Golesh, them boys are playing hard. Them boys are tackling. They're moving fast to the ball. They're playing as a unit. They're playing as a brotherhood, as Alex Golesh would say. So shout out Todd Orlando and that USF defense, holding a Gator offense that people thought would be really, really good to the little amount of points they did. Overall, shout out USF. Final thoughts, just shout out USF. And Florida fans, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right, we could sign that letter, put it in the envelope, and send it off. That's our love letter to Gainesville.